Hey there guys! Today I have a book review of Mockingjay. Before I get on to the review, I want to say two things. Firstly, this is my 50th video! Oh my god! Secondly, I hit 70 subscribers! Thanks guys! That's really sweet and that makes me really happy. Now on to the review. This review does contain spoilers to the first two books, The Hunger Games and Catching Fire, so I cannot be held responsible if you get mad at me for spoilers. Coming directly out of Catching Fire to read this book, I'm happy to say it does not have the horrible lag that there was between The Hunger Games and Catching Fire. This one does not slow down much at all. For the most part, I was happy with the direction that Miss Suzanne Collins decided to take this trilogy, so this should be a positive review. Katniss Everdeen can be described as two things. A two-time victor of the Hunger Games, sorta, and the beginner of a rebellion. But those two things aren't really things that Katniss chose for herself. She didn't mean to spark a rebellion, and if she had her way, she probably never would have gone into the Hunger Games in the first place. During her second time in the arena, Katniss is pulled out and saved and rushed to District 13, which is the base of a rebellion she barely knew she really started. She didn't know it reached this far, and she couldn't imagine what had happened. In District 13 with her are a few of the other victors, Haymitch, her family, some people from 13, and a whole bunch of rebellion. One person missing from this bunch is Peeta. He wasn't pulled out of the arena in time, and the Capitol now has him. Opening this book with her district nearly in ruins and her possible boyfriend held hostage in the Capitol, Katniss has a decision to make and far more to learn than she could ever know existed. When I first opened this book, I was a little worried that, like Catching Fire, would slow down and drag on, but like I said, it didn't. We pick up with Katniss not long after she's pulled from the arena. She's still dealing with her injuries and still trying to figure out what's going on in 13 and why she's there and what her part in all this is. I'll say one thing, this may be about the rebellion and about the war and the individual people in the districts who are rebelling, but the action does not rival that of the arena. There are a few good war scenes, some good battles, but nothing like the arena. I feel like the characters in this book were great continuations of who they were before. Katniss is just ever evolving and she's confused, and I felt that was believable. Finnick was a little bit different, but the explanation and just seeing him the way he was in the beginning and then seeing him with Annie and everything, just seeing his evolution was wonderful. The small amount of time in this book that you actually get to see Peeta, he's kind of unlikable. But it's well explained, and it kind of makes sense. As for Gale, I'm not a big fan of Gale. I don't really like Gale that much, in truth. He's kind of cold and distant, and it's not my favorite. But in this book, you learn a little bit more about him, and he becomes a bit more likable. Now, I have a serious complaint. The epilogue. The epilogue of this book made me so upset. It's hard to do this without spoilers, but I shall try. The choice that Katniss makes in the epilogue frankly pissed me off. That was the only point at which I felt that Katniss's character was weakened. I felt like she gave in to what someone else wanted, and it wasn't her. I was very upset with it. Despite my problems with the epilogue, if you ended at just the last chapter and never read the epilogue, I'd give this book a 4 out of 5 stars. I felt the plot continued wonderfully from the last books, the characters' development was so interesting and lovely, and the writing was as good as ever. I'd say if you enjoyed the first two books, that you'll probably enjoy this one, even if you read the painful epilogue. So now my question for you is, do you think this was a good finale for this trilogy? Starting at The Hunger Games, is this how you saw it ending? It's not exactly how I saw it ending, but I liked it. Mostly. If you'd like to see some more of my reviews, you can subscribe and let me know what you thought about the book in the comments. I will see you soon, probably with a book haul. Bye.